Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your location. Please do not hesitate to join in the struggle to liberate our people from the contraption. Like and share videos. Now the update for this Tuesday. The alliance between old western and northern regions has finally been re-established in 2023. That's according to FFK. He said he's the former aviation minister. Okay? And he's also the director of new media of the All Progressive Congress Presidential Campaign Council that has been dissolved. And he said that those who plotted the January 15th, 1966 coup were the ones that ended the relationship between the western and northern regions, and that he is grateful to God that the relationship has been re-established 57 years later in 2023. Now look at his statement, I quote now. The alliance between the old western region and the old northern region, which the January 15, 1966 coup plotters put to an end, has finally been re-established 57 years later in 2023. This is the doing of the Lord, and it is marvelous in our sight. End of quote. So, Femi Fonika is not a true student of history, or he's trying to conceal the truth, or being economical with it. Otherwise, he should understand that, look, there has not been any time the northern region and western region are enjoying a relationship. It is the northern region and the eastern Nigeria that are the ones in this partnership. Of course, yes, because the 1946 Rèjëctś Constitution, created this tripartite arrangement of eastern Nigeria, western and northern Nigerians. So, and that remains, because between October 1953 and December 1959, there was no constitutional advancement in Nigeria. Why? Because the British had held firmly to their constitutional framework of a tripartite Nigeria. You have seen it now, why there was no constitutional advancement within this period. Okay? Secondly, the regional political leaders initiated their own concepts of rulership in their respective areas of government. Thirdly, the same political leaders strove to keep their hold on their own regions. However, while the two southern leaders aspired to gain rulership in other regions, the northern leader only strove to keep his firm grip on the north. How could such a grip alone ensure his political aspirations? It's a big question. Now, the answer to this question could only be found in the Tripartition Act. Now, by this act, the British deliberately placed a greater percentage of the land and people of Nigeria in the north, putting the percentages of population at, say, 54.5% in the northern Nigeria. Now, you have 20.0% in western Nigeria. You have 23.0% in eastern Nigeria and 2.5% in southern Cameroon. Of course, southern Cameroon was then part of Nigeria. Okay? Now, the British gave the North 55% of the federal constituencies, which ensured that if the Northern People's Congress, that's the NPC party which domiciled in northern Nigeria, succeeded in maintaining its hold on the North, which it actually did with the active support of the British, now it will be in control at the federal level. And that was the arrangement of this British government. So the stage was set with this arrangement for the federal election of December 1959, which was meant to usher in the political independence of Nigeria. The results of that election were a foregone conclusion. Now, the NPC won 148 seats. The NCNC, which domiciled in eastern Nigeria, and the NEPU. Now, NEPU is in the north. Now, NEPU has 8, and both of them has 89 seats, and the Action Group and the UMBC in the middle belt 75 seats. Now, these results show that the efforts by the southern leaders to gain rulership in the north has succeeded to some extent. They also show that the masses of the north will not go with the NPC oligarchy if they were allowed the freedom of political expression. Again, the results show that if the political parties of the south join hands together and tactfully worked out their fortunes with the political mass movements of the north, a political alliance would emerge which, if adequately led, will gain power at the federal level. That is what people believed. That is the notion. Now, from the history, Chief Awolowo wanted to make this alliance with the NCNC. Yes, the senior partner in alliance of the southern parties. That's Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe did not follow that procedure. He rather wanted to move with the northern Nigeria. That's Nnamdi Azikiwe wanted to move with the northern Nigeria, and he did move with northern Nigeria. And that is you see the alliance that happened. As it happened, you see that the NPC and the NCNC alliance formed the government at the center. Yes, they teamed up and formed the government in December 1959. So the NPC, Northern People's Congress, they become the senior partner in that government, and the deputy leader, of course, of the party, who is Alhaji Abba Katafa Balewa, who led the NPC at the federal level since 1954, became the first Prime Minister of Nigeria. Now the NPC shared the ministerial appointments with the NCNC, of course, and now, so they shared it. Of course, you know that the Sardauna of Sokoto, who is the leader of the party, refused to, relinquish his position. Now, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe relinquished his position. Of course, you saw that the Awolowo relinquished his position as the leader of the AG, but Sardauna refused to relinquish his position. That's what led to Tafawa Balewa becoming the Prime Minister when the NPC was the senior partner in the arrangement between NCNC and NPC. You see, so there was no time. This thing happened. The relationship happened between the Western and Northern region, and it was the coup that stopped it. There was no time like that. Rather, it was Northern Nigeria that was persecuting the Western Nigeria when Balewa was persecuting Awolowo, using the Ezra Akintola, the agent Ezra Akintola, to persecute Awolowo. If you go down the history lane, we will tell you more about that persecution that saw the imprisonment of Awolowo by the Balewa administration. It didn't end there. Balewa administration went on to create emergency in Western Nigeria. He created emergency there because Ezra Akintola was removed. He supplanted through constitutional means. He was removed through constitutional means. The then governor of Western Nigeria duly removed him with the parliamentarians. Okay? Talking about Ooni of Ife. Then, Oba, Adesoji, Adeyemi. I think so. Yes. So, the Balewa administration wanted Ezra Akintola to be there. They did everything before they created the Midwest. Whereas in the northern Nigeria, there's agitation in the middle belt for them to have their own region. But Balewa suppressed the middle belt, not to have their own region, but he went to balkanize or divide Western region. And there he carved out the Midwest. So it was the coup that wanted to stop the humiliation, the embarrassment, and the total, brigandage of Balewa administration in Western Nigeria. So not the other way around and say, the British, the Western Nigeria and Northern Nigeria were in good terms, we were allies. It was the coup that stopped it. Who stopped that thing? So this is the history. So whatever they're saying is their business. What we are talking about this is contraption. It's a building that was built on a faulty foundation. It's bound to fail and it's about to fall. And nobody can stop it from falling. The Biafrans have good at it, they have chosen their own path. And that is where they're moving. And that is referendum and restoration